Hudson River. In New York City, many families are still struggling there to recoup their losses. Among the hardest hit, the Chinese community in Coney Island, where a full recovery has been hindered by language and cultural barriers. CCTV's Leeling Tan reports.
Kenneth Ng and his wife remember the day the Atlantic Ocean poured into their living room.
At 7:15, the water started coming in. It was coming fast, and within half an hour, there was 8 feet of water and came into my house.
The Ngs live in the legendary Coney Island neighborhood in Brooklyn, one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. They lost everything as floodwater, sand and mud tore through the home they lived in for 15 years.
These are recliners. It's very heavy, and it was floating around in my house from the position about 10 or 15 feet to another location.
Kenneth Ng's wife, Wanda, was in Florida during the storm and came home to the wreckage.
The moment I saw the house, I couldn't bear it. To see your own house in this condition.
The Ngs had to dip into their retirement savings to pay for a third of the $90,000 it cost to rebuild their home, with the rest covered by insurance. During Superstorm Sandy, seawater from Coney Island Beach down this way and from Gravesend Bay down that way converged in this neighborhood, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damages. But while the Ngs have managed to rebuild their lives 1 year later, many others in Coney Island's Chinese community continue to struggle. Lisa Jones of Brooklyn Community Services, or BCS, meets me at this trailer along the coast of Coney Island Beach. It's where members of the Chinese community came for help the morning after the storm.
I was really shocked because there were lines of people from all the way from here. They were on the steps and all the way out and around. There must have been all the way out and around. There must have been 100 people.
And many of them spoke only Chinese.
There's a language barrier. There's a cultural barrier. There's a fact that a lot of folks are undocumented, so they're the last to get serviced, if they get serviced.
So BCS hired Cantonese and Mandarin translators. BCS relies on private donations to provide emergency assistance. Outside, you can still see the scars Sandy left behind. Inside, the Ng's home looks new, even if their bank account hasn't recovered yet. It's the neighbors that Kenneth Ng worries about more.
It's the less fortunate people that need help. In fact, across the street from my house, there's still people waiting for more money to rebuild their house.
Like the Ngs, many homeowners didn't get enough money to cover the cost of rebuilding. But the federal agency handling flood insurance claims said in October that Sandy's victims will get another 6 months to appeal. Leeling Tan, CCTV, Coney Island, New York.